Hi, how are you kids today? Yay, look at the love. Thanks for coming. I'm always worried no one's going to show up, so thank you. Thank you for that. Wow. So, of course, my first time at Emerald City Con, and I wear a sapphire. What was I thinking? It's like rooting for the wrong team, you know? Hey, I'm a geeky boy from Indiana. Yes. And my story began back in college. I went to Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana, and the first costume job I ever had was when I played Charlie Cardinal at Ball State as the mascot. Yes, we were the Fighting Cardinals. How ferocious is that, right? And so Ball State still to this day takes credit for my entire career. Just ask them, yeah. But that's also where I learned the art of mime. I joined a mime troupe called Mime Over Matter. And that's a pun, yeah. And learned the art of mime and creating things, and it kind of woke my entire body up from head to toe to just remind me that all of us tells a story. It's not just verbal dialogue, but dialogue comes in so many visual forms as well, which translated well into the career that I ended up having that I did not see coming. Yeah, no. I went out to Hollywoodland in 1985-ish. I worked at a bank for a while. They fired me, and then I became an actor. And they should have fired me. I sucked as a banker, okay? But the first thing I did was take a TV commercial acting class. It was taught by an agent. At my second class, he said, "Hey, do you have an agent yet?" I said, "I don't know what an agent is." So that meant no. And so he said, "Here's my card, call me at the office." So he became my first TV commercial agent. It was the Wilhelmina Agency, which is a big modeling name in New York, and they had a huge TV commercial department in Los Angeles, in the top 10 in the city. And so I started going out on TV commercial auditions, and one of my early bookings, my first thing I booked was 6 months later in June of 1986. It was a commercial for Southwest Airlines as a dancing mummy. And I didn't know that was boding of things to come, but then I did an alien commercial for a toy company, and then I did a geeky guy for Bob's Big Boy restaurant chain, and then my fourth booking was that first thing you saw on the demo reel there, which was the Mac Tonight campaign for McDonald's, right? And little did I know what that was going to turn into at the time. For those of us in the room old enough to remember those commercials airing, thank you. My peeps. Those commercials, they ended up running for about 3 years, and I did 27 spots. So it was a really good commercial campaign that bought my first house for me. So thank you, McDonald's. Yeah, I know. Did you ever think you'd hear me say thank you, McDonald's, for, yeah, but I do love their fries. I know. They don't love my heart, though. But anywho, so that TV commercial campaign, the Moonhead was created by creature effects makeup designer Steve Neal. And he ran an operation out of his garage at his house. And he would then employ people from other creature shops to come work on a campaign or a movie or whatever job he got. So commercial after commercial, all these shoots over these 3 years, I kept meeting people from other creature shops. So whether it was Rick Baker's or Steve Johnson's or Greg Canham or Stan Winston's, I met people from all over the big creature shops in LA, and then they would go back to those creature shops with a memory of working with me, which, thank heaven, it went well. So, yeah, and they would see designs coming through for another gig, like a movie or TV show that had a skinny-looking alien or a skinny-looking something, and be like, "I just worked with him," all right? So I would get these phone calls that would refer me for the next job, and the next job, and the next job. So I owe my career now to the creature effects makeup people who've been so good to me. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if you follow my Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. Just this year, earlier this year, they awarded me a Lifetime Achievement Award called the Chair Award because I've spent so much time in their makeup chairs. So sweet, yeah. The first thing I said in my acceptance speech was, I feel kind of guilty taking this award because you guys did all the work. I sat in a chair, until the cameras rolled and then I got to work. Yeah, but so anywho, but it's because of those referrals that landed me doing lots of jobs over the years. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, yay, as the leader of the gentlemen. And I did a Hocus Pocus came along during that time. Yes. By the way, Hocus Pocus 2 is coming September 30th on Disney Plus. I'm in it. Yes. Yeah. Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, and I are the four that are back from the original movie. Whole bunch of new kids. Yeah, so you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna like it. Anywho, so then I did another movie called Warriors of Virtue. Anybody? Yeah. It's kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, only more serious and with kangaroos. I did that in 1996. 1997 comes around. I get a random phone call from Steve Wang, who was a creature effects designer that was working at Spectral Motion at the time, the creature shop. And he said, "Hey, we've got a director here." I lied to you. It's 1997. I got a random call from somebody at Rick Lazarini's shop. I get them all confused. "Hey, are you free for a night shoot tonight? There's this movie. We need a creature. You're it." I'm like, "Well, out of work actor. Let me see if I'm free." Yes. So I went. So that same night, I'm downtown Los Angeles on top of a 4-story brick building, standing on the edge of it, looking down, going, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die." And apparently it was kind of an insect bug-looking creature sort of thing, but sort of humanish. And the movie was Mimic, if anyone saw Mimic. Apparently they had somebody in before me that couldn't do something that the director wanted him to just do this, lean over the edge of the building with his feet, right? Just a body lean like that. Seems pretty simple. But the guy they had in before me was doing it from the... No, from the ankles. Oh, okay. So then they were like, "Who do we know?" So out came the tall, skinny Rolodex, and they called me, so I came down. And did this. So when I did this, it's like the whole crew goes, "Yeah!" Really? I didn't know it was that big of a talent, but anywho. So they ended up keeping me on the show for 3 days, playing a couple of the bug guys throughout the movie. And the second day is when the director sat across the lunch table from me and said, "So, tell me everything you've been in before." It was Guillermo del Toro. Right? But of course, at the time, I didn't know who he was because that was his first American film. He'd had quite a name in Mexico by then, but everything, a lot of TV and film in the Spanish language, including his first feature film, Kronos, had been out by then. But this was his first American film. So we start chatting, and I'm telling him about all the creepy crawly monsters I've played, and he's like getting excited, right? Because he's a 12-year-old boy who gets excited about monsters in his heart. And he knew all the creature effects makeup artists I'd worked with, and he was asking questions about them, like, "Oh, have you met him? He's a nice guy." Oh, on and on. So we're revving each other up, like, I know. So I'm like, this is unlike any director I've ever met in my life, and I love him, right? So that began a 25-year relationship with Guillermo. That I'm so grateful for. Yeah. He then came back around for me again in 2002 when we were filming the first Hellboy movie. Yeah. And rumor has it that he felt that when I got a phone call again. That was from Steve Wang at Spectral Motion, calling to say, "Hey, there's a director here who says he's worked with you and wants to have you come in and meet with us. We're doing this movie." What had happened earlier that day is they had unveiled the sculpture of Abe Sapien, which was like a maquette, they call it, and this is the first time Guillermo had seen it. Apparently, he came into the room and went, "Oh, fell to his knees and said, "You are so beautiful, and I am so fat." I'm quoting. I would never say that about him, but I think he meant such a beautiful, thin creature. I think that's what he meant. So then they called me again, because everybody in the room had worked with me and said, who's perfect to play this is Doug Jones. He goes, "I know Doug Jones." So they called, and that really cinched our relationship more. And then Hellboy 2 came later, of course, where he also had me play the Angel of Death and the Chamberlain in that too. He's doubled me up a couple times now. And in between Hellboy 1 and 2 was Pan's Labyrinth. Oh. Yeah. That was the first time I was able to go to the Oscars, because the movie had 6 nominations and won 3 of them, including Best Makeup for my makeup artist. So I was really proud of them. Yeah, they did great. Can I tell you my favorite moment in my career? By the way, it was then. It was, on the red carpet of the Academy Awards. It was 2007. No, I'm lying to you. Yes, it was. Yeah, the movie came out in 2006, so it was February of 2007. And all my life, I'd been a big fan of Joan Rivers. Anyone else fan of Joan Rivers? Right? Funny comedian, had reinvented herself many times over her career. She's the one who created the red carpet "Who Are You Wearing?" Right? She was all the fashion queen. So I thought, and if I could get interviewed on a red carpet by Joan Rivers, I will have made it, That's what I was thinking. So here I am at the Oscars in 2007, and sure enough, I just talked to Access Hollywood and the E! Channel, and then all of a sudden, Joan Rivers. Right? So my publicist is like, "Joan would like to talk to you now." She would? She wants to talk to me? Ah! So there she was. Now, if you know Joan Rivers, she had a lot of work done. She was famous for it, right? And she talked about it all the time. So in person, up close, it was like, right? She was a wonder of modern science. And so anyway, they were off at a commercial break, and she's looking through some cards that they gave her for the Pan's Labyrinth movie with all the information on it. Thank goodness this was not on the air yet. She said, "How do you pronounce that?" And I said, "Oh, that's labyrinth." Labyrinth. Did you know that before the movie? A lot of us did, yeah. But so she's a smart woman too. I'm not sure how that one got past her. So anyway, so all of a sudden we're back from the commercial break. We're live, and she's interviewing me and asking all the right questions that I knew answers to. And then I saw her eyes glaze over, because she had an earpiece in, and somebody out in the van was saying, "Ask him about the makeup." So she's like, and so what's it like? You've worn a lot of crazy makeups over the years. Do you have any problems with skin, issues, rashes, allergies? So I said, "Oh, well, Joan, thankfully, no. I've always had good luck with that, but I've never had any problems with adhesives or removers or silicone products." When I said the words, "silicone products," I was looking at a face full of them. So without thinking, I said, "Well, you know what I mean." I've waited decades to meet this woman, and I insult her. Anyway, so she said, "Oh, it's too late for me, honey." Yes, Joan Rivers. So anyway, that's my favorite story of my 36-year career. Anywho, so then, bless Guillermo del Toro's heart, he came back around for me again for after Hellboy 2. I think Crimson Peak. Right, I got to play 2 of his ghost ladies in that. And meanwhile, also, I was a recurring guest on his TV series, The Strain. I was one of the ancient vampires in that. And then, of course, while we were working on Crimson Peak, actually, he called me into his office one day on a day that I was not filming during his lunch break. And he said, "Shut the door, I want to talk to you." I thought, wait, am I in trouble? Okay, at the principal's office? And that's when he told me quietly his idea for this new movie about a fish man. And I'm like, Guillermo, I already played a fish man for you once. He goes, no. This is a romantic movie, but, you know, and you're going to be the romantic leading man of this movie. And that's in a fish suit, is it? So then I was thinking, like, you know, the only one who could pull off a romance with a fish man and a mute woman would be Guillermo del Toro, right? Right? I wasn't wrong, apparently, because 13 Oscar nominations later and 4 wins. Yeah. Oh, bless. Yeah, he's been so good to me over the years, and to be able to create such. He's the one who brought monsters back into the limelight as movie stars, you know, from the golden era, and I really appreciate him for that. Yeah, it's been a fun ride with him to do that. And in the meanwhile, getting to do silly things on TV, like Cochise from Falling Skies, you might have seen a clip from, and Saru on Star Trek Discovery, of course, has been. Thank you. He's been a fun ride. We're currently filming season 5. Yeah, I know, right? Thank you for keeping that going. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a show. So, meanwhile, I've also had the joy and giggle fest of being able to be a recurring guest on What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. Playing Beto Nafanas has been the joy of my life. You just go to work and laugh all day. You know, it's great fun. And I don't know if anybody saw the current season now, season 4 of What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. So if you saw Beto Nafanas, I went through another transformation recently, and I don't want to spoil. No spoilers. I'm just saying. My real face might show, though. It's just saying. Yeah, that's actually the 3rd time now that I have been on a show where it starts off in a rubber makeup and they show me as my real face at some point. It happened on Falling Skies in a flashback sort of thing where I got to play a college professor, but with Cochise's voice, so it was really him. And then on Star Trek Discovery, it happened at the end of season 3, where I go into a hollow program and become a human. Yeah, scary to play Saru as a human. I was like, how does that? Well, you know, when you're developing a character with all that look and those hoof boots, and all of a sudden I'm walking like a human, and yeah. But thankfully, hopefully it pulled off. And then now with thank you. Now with Beto Nafanas starting as a pointy-eared, you know, grotesque-looking vampire who gets burned by the sun and broken in half, and he's half a body, and now returned to his former glory as Doug Jones in a wig. It was, yeah, but it's a really pretty wig. So, anywho, so it's been a great fun ride all around. So, anywho, I hear that there's a couple of microphones in the aisles here. If you have any cues, hopefully I have an A or 2 for you. You know, I don't know, but that's up to you to ask good cues that I might have A's for. This is a Q&A, right? Yeah. So who do we, do I orchestrate this? Yeah, okay. We'll start over here, yes.
Hey, Doc. You know me?
I do.
Cinderella.
Well, who doesn't know Cinderella? Yeah.
No, I remember we meet each other first time 2016 in CryptoCon.
Oh, yeah.
And you had your birthday, and congratulations. I have a picture noch still I like giving you later.
Very
and
sweet.
I get badges by you on Facebook for your biggest fan, and you not recognize me on my real name, your friends, so you accidentally cannot answer me. Your friends, you not recognize Helga Poser.
Right, okay, hi.
And how you doing? I missed you seeing. I saw you the last time, 2018, before the COVID came, and I see you something, your family, Rekrat family, and say them hello. And you're doing really nice pictures, and your brothers, you're all looking the same. You're amazing guy, and I think you're amazing. I really like see you. I like show something. My step-uncle died. He gave me a heritage from 1992, the silver filer toy. I like coming by and that autograph. I was so busy, and I thought maybe I can show you in the panel. Can you show that?
Everybody see, yeah, it's really pretty, cool piece, yay. Yeah. Good. Okay, great. Thank you so much, love. We'll see at my table later. Yeah.
Hi, Doug.
I can. Well, okay. Yeah. Yes. Hi.
Get your gift. Finish your business.
This is for me to keep. No. Oh, that's the Silver Surfer. This is old. I've never seen it. 1992. That's beautiful, right? Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Oh, okay. Hey. Okay. Yeah. Here you go. Hey. Get it? Hey. Okay. Good. Okay. Thanks, levels. Okay. We'll see you in a bit. Yes, love. Hi.
Hi. First, I want to say I adored The Shape of Water.
Thank you.
It made me cry.
Me too.
I love the film. I love the film. The second thing is I'm a huge Star Trek fan since I was a kid. And I wanted to ask you about your experience on Discovery. And I know people talk about joining Star Trek and having been a fan and so forth. So I was wondering if you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I was more of a casual fan of Star Trek. I mean, born in 1960, so the first series, 1966. I was a 6-year-old boy, watching it on network television with my family. So
I was 4.
You're not that old.
Oh, honey.
We look good.
We do.
Okay, but so and with every iteration, or every new series and new movie that's come along the way, you can't live a life without knowing that there's Star Trek out there, for sure, right? So and the career that I've had, being under lots of rubber bits, you would assume that somewhere along the way I should have been in a Star Trek something. I made it all the way to age 56 before that happened, right? So I was like, I had given up, like, oh, it's never gonna happen. And I got this call like, hey, no audition necessary. They want to book you for Star Trek Discovery, this new series. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
What a
Now? So I met with the showrunner and the writers, and it was a big love fest, and so Saru was mine, and I was so tickled pink. I've been because I've been in the horror, sci-fi, fantasy, comic book genres for all my career. Star Trek added a new piece of the pie that I didn't know was missing. As far as like fandom goes, it's such a loyal fan base, and with such a family type feeling to it and an ownership of it. That's really, really warm and lovely to be a part of now. So it warms my heart. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for all your work.
Oh, bless you. Yes, over here.
Hello, Doug. Nice to meet you. Hi, my name is Max. I'm from Seattle, here. My question is, you've obviously done a lot of makeup work. We know that. And you've worked with other actors who've been in makeup. Without naming names, you're very comfortable in makeup, but have you ever worked with any actors who found it challenging or difficult?
I find it challenging. Yeah. Yeah. I don't. It's funny. I don't love the process. I've learned to cope with the process because I love the end product. I don't know if I've never met an actor who's like, yes, do that to me day after day for the rest of my life. I'd love that. Yeah. But the actors take it in varying degrees. It depends on how fidgety you are. The thing is, I'm a very boring human being in my quiet time, and I love quiet time. So I don't have to be doing something 24/7. I can stare at a wall and drool really easily. So sitting still in a makeup chair is just like second nature to me. They're doing all the work, and then by the time I'm done, that's when I have to go to work. So that's the challenge for me, is then performing in something that's heavy and hot and sticky and whatever else it might be. So it depends on what type of personality the actor is. We're all different. So so I've worked with some people. I'll tell you the surprising ones. I did a movie called The Time Machine.
Yes,
right? Yeah, it was the remake of the 1960 one with Guy Pearce, and it was like 2001 or 2 that came out. And a lot of I was one of the skinny spy Morlocks that we shot darts at the Eloy people to mark them, and then the big husky like hunter Morlocks would come and gather them up. Well, the hunter Morlocks were all the big, muscly, macho stuntmen, right? These are guys who have jumped out of burning buildings and driven cars off of cliffs. Some of them, get it off off me! Get it off me! So you never know. You never know when that thing's going to click where you can't handle it, you know? So that's what the most extreme I've ever dealt with is that.
Thank
I
you so
guess.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, my name's Miranda. I'm from the Seattle area. It's very cool to see you. So I know you spent like a lot of time in the makeup chair for all those crazy prosthetics and all of that. Mad respect. I can't do that. What is the longest and shortest amount of time you've ever spent in the makeup chair for any of your projects?
Well, the shortest time was a project I just did as a human for 7 minutes a day. It was great. It was great. But as far as like prosthetics getting glued onto you, my shortest I think is in the 2-hour range. Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus did 2 hours a day. That's head and hands. The gloves go on. The hands go on as gloves. Saru from Star Trek Discovery also 2 hours a day. So it's very, very simple, glued-on job. A lot of the artistry is done ahead of time. So they do the pre-sculpting, pre-painting, pre-molding, all of that with the pieces. Then it's the artists on the day that get them onto me. So that's the last step of a very long process. That's the short end. It's the 2 hours a day for me. The long end would be Abe Sapien from the Hellboy movies. He was about a 7-hour-a-day build. I know. So you put in a full work day before you go to work. So when I was just wearing the shorts and all that bluefish guy was showing, they had to glue it and paint it onto me with blended edges, multiple pieces, including fins on the back of my calves and funny-looking feet and hands with webbed fingers and glued into the thing and pectorals that were really kind of nice. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and anything in between. It depends on the design and how easy it is to go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, Doug. My name is Kyla, and I'm from Vancouver, Canada. My question is, for people who are interested in kind of performing as monsters and as creatures in film and television, how do they get their foot in the door? And what do you suggest they do to kind of build up their portfolio?
Right. Well, first of all, I wouldn't be sitting here today if I thought I want to be monsters. I had to think I want to be an actor. That had to come first. So that means that you have to prepare as an actor in your heart and soul when you're taking on a character, even if it's running down a hallway growling and swiping at people, right? There has to be an intention and a reason for it, a relationship with everything else on the setting you're in, the characters you're up against. All that has to be there as an actor, right? You have to feel it, and then let that performance come from there through your limbs. So with the background, so to build up those limbs, though, to accommodate what your heart and soul wants to do, if you have a background with mime or acrobatics or dance or there's any or martial arts, anything like that that helps build up the tool you have, right? That's the performance end. So many people want to know how to get into show business, focusing on the business part. We really have to focus on the show part, because without something to show, we have no business being there, right? So the business people take care of that, but I have found I never really pushed, hit the pavement and went out and sold myself. It was really more of a I did one thing that led to another, led to another, led to another, because of being easy to work with. That is really key. Being good at what you do is absolutely key. Being nice while you do it is absolutely the other 50% of that, right? Yeah. So it'll be the creature effects people that really, producers and directors and casting directors don't always know how to cast those roles. The creature effects people do know how to cast those roles. They know who they've worked with and what the creature is going to need in performance. And they have that, again, that Rolodex of all types and shapes that they can call upon to do that. So I would say getting to know them. A convention like Monsterpalooza down in Los Angeles is a great place to make the rounds and meet a lot of creature people who are on display there. And give them a card, give me your little portfolio there, and say, hey, and keep in touch and whatever. I've had many people that do that and seem to get results.
Here, awesome. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Hi, I'm Sue from Seattle, and
The Shape of Water, I am very aware that Guillermo del Toro was very intentional in making the aqua creature physically attractive. Do you have any memorable quotes that del Toro said to you, like of his ideas? And then a short follow-up question would be, are you aware that the Moon Man is used as album art cover for one of the best vaporwave albums ever by St. Pepsi?
Yes, indeed. The kids on YouTube inform me about a lot of things. Yeah, so thank you. The Shape of Water. Yeah, no, the Amphibian Man, as far as creature looks that I've worn, the Amphibian Man went through more tooling and retooling and designing and redesigning, painting, repainting than anything I've ever worn in my life. They took them about a full year to get it from point A to, we can film it now. You know? And part of that was, he's got to be sexy, right? You have to believe, right? And I was, but you have to believe that that this woman could fall in love with him and want to kiss him and want to, you know, grab his ass. So the two areas that took the most refining were the lips and the ass. Yes, with lots of reshaping. And do you think that's good? I don't know. Maybe we can. So as far as quotes go, the best quote of the entire movie shoot that I knew we had hit it with his look came from my co-star Octavia Spencer. Yes. We're all sitting in chairs much like this around during our break time while they're resetting a scene, and I got up and walked to go get something. Octavia's sitting back there, and all I heard was, Yeah. Best quote. That's how I knew we hit it. Yeah. Like I was a glazed ham. Yeah. Thank you so much, love.
Hi, my name is David. I'm living in Seattle, originally from the Midwest as well, though, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So your work is an absolute masterclass in nonverbal communication. I was wondering of your creature work, which suit has been the most restrictive for your movement, and how you kind of developed the skill set to still add so much physicality and communication to your performance.
Very kind of you. First of all, thank you for even thinking those things. Thank you. But yeah, every creature design comes with its limitations or its enhancements that help or hinder me. You know. And you just have to make that a part of the ecosystem of whoever it is you're playing. That's right, because I might prepare for a character before I've gone to my fittings, and I'm like doing this, and I get in the suit, and it's like, oh, this is all I can do. Okay, so you have to ecosystem change him, you know. So, but as far as most goodness, the fawn from Pan's Labyrinth was a really tough one for me. Because I was up on stilts. I was about 7 feet tall. And ka-clunking around, and with long finger extensions and a really heavy head. With those horns had battery packs in them because they were puppeteering the upper part of my face with. So the noise in there was also rather hindering, you know, because I have an 11-year-old girl in front of me giving me dialogue that I can't hear because I. So. It was a real big challenge, that was. And then trying to walk and trying to keep my balance, you know. By the way, that's how I practiced. When I knew I was going to be, once I saw the designs and everything, I thought, I better get used to doing this. Plus, I'm 7 feet tall and she was this tall, so a lot of this, you know, crouching. So I had to get strong in that position. So imagine me at a 24-hour fitness, won't you? At 2 in the morning, with in the aerobics room when it's closed up and there's mirrors everywhere, and I'm kind of doing this, like, is that going to look good? And then there's a glass wall and the weight room. Some buff guy didn't know what he's looking at. Yeah, I'm working on a movie. Shut up. Anyway. So, but did that answer your question? I don't know. I went on a tangent there. Sorry.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Leah. Maria. I'm from Seattle here. Just want to thank you so much for sharing your talent with everyone. Shape of Water, I think, is one of the most beautiful movies ever made, and meant a lot to me. So, one of the things that I would love to know is, I think that it's wonderful how you give each character you play a sense of character. You know, like it's not just, oh, this is a monster that looks like this, or you know, if you're playing a certain fantasy race. You could pick you out of all of the people that looked the same as you because you have a personality. And I thought, especially during Shape of Water, like you were a person, not a fish man. And I would just like to know, how you approach that.
Thank you. That's the sweetest thing ever, by the way. Thank you. And getting warbly while you said that is even a bigger compliment. I'm really, seriously, thank you so much. That means the world to me. As an actor, I want to know that what I'm doing is of some purpose or some use. It's not just me flapping my arms around. So this is a confirmation, validating for me. Thank you so much. Guillermo del Toro was very, very adamant with me when presenting The Shape of Water to me. He said, "Dougie, you're not a monster. You're an actor in this. I need you to connect with her." So he really wanted that something. He didn't want a performance. He wanted a reality. So I really had to tap into Dougie the actor to really connect on this. It was funny because I also. He didn't want to see any human in me. He wanted to see humanity, perhaps, like you were saying, but not human. He wanted me to be an animal from the wild. So part of him reminding me of that, if I did any, well, for instance, the scene in the bathtub where I'm actually not with Sally Hawkins in this one. It was where I was being babysat by the neighbor, Giles, played by Richard Jenkins, beautifully. Yeah, I know, right? And he was drawing a picture of me, sketching me while he's talking and vomiting up all of his life, and he's having a counseling session with this fish guy. And while he's talking to me, my first instinct was to go like, "Oh yeah, I know, right?" But the fishman wouldn't know how to do that, right? So Guillermo, to get me back on track to be an animal, all he did was, "Dougie, how?" Okay, got it. Okay, got it. So I had to channel the family dog, right? When you, "Oh, Fluffy, you're such a good puppy." Yeah. Not a word, but they get something about your tone of voice, your body language. Your dog understands part of you without understanding exactly every word and every nuance. So I kind of had to kind of do that. If that makes, I don't know if that answers your question or not, but it took me on another story. So.
Stories are the perfect answer.
Thank you so much, love.
Hi, I'm Clover. I'm from the Seattle area. And first, before any question, I'd like to say Baron Afanas in the most recent episode was absolutely gorgeous. Like, I was blown away. I was like, woo! Okay. But first and foremost, huge Star Trek fan, and I absolutely loved it when Discovery explored Saru's family, the Kelpians, that whole, just the way that they were being manipulated by the higher creatures. But I would like to ask you, what was your experience with that story, and how did it make you feel, and just in general?
Yeah, no, thank you for tapping into that, because that was it was one of those short treks, The Brightest Star. If you go to the Paramount Plus and scroll down somewhere, you can find this series of short treks, like 20-minute stories. And one of them is Saru's backstory. It takes you back to my home planet of Kaminar when I was like an adolescent Kelpian. My dad was still alive, and that's when you meet my sister Sarana. But Saru had this curiosity about him. He'd be gazing at the sky, wondering what else was out there. I really could relate to that. I mean, I think any of us in this room, we're drawn to a convention like this because we can relate to that, looking at the sky and dreaming about what else is out there, right? So to I mean, I can remember being in Indiana, looking out where the sun was setting on the West Coast, like, that's where California is, that's where they film things, that's where showbiz is, that's where Hollywood is. Ah. So I kind of channeled that for Saru, looking at the sky, going, maybe there's something more than living in a hut and being controlled by this other species. Maybe there's something more. And I think there's a message there about when authority is abusive, maybe there's a way around it. Maybe we can win and come out on top at some point. So Saru found a way, jerry-rigged a thing, talked to a ship, they came down, took him away. So he was kind of like a refugee meets, opportunist, finding his way as the first Kelpian to ever join Starfleet and ever rise through the ranks to become a captain of a ship one day. So that was quite a journey to go on with him. And also the threat ganglia, the fear-based. When Saru was presented to me in the first place, it's like, the writers told me that fear is his underlying core. And everything, he makes his decisions to overcome that or, work through that, but it's always fear. And so in season 2, when they wrote the episode where I go through Vihari and my threat ganglia fall out and I have no fear anymore, it's like, oh, I didn't prepare for that. Because Doug Jones understood Saru as a scaredy cat. I don't get him as a courageous thing with no fear. So I had to go through a life lesson myself with that, learning to overcome the fear that I deal with and the anxiety I deal with every day, and going, what would Saru do here? Well, he might now, his circumstances haven't changed around him, but his attitude toward them, his reaction to them has. So I think that's my life lesson is it doesn't, the world's going to be what it is. It's how I react to it is what makes all the difference. Am I going to be like, oh, I'm afraid of what's coming tomorrow? Or, no, whatever comes tomorrow, we can handle it. That's the better choice for me now. And I learned that from Saru. Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Doug. My name is Billy. I'm from the Seattle area. I'm wearing a mask.
That's hilarious. I thought, and you're a ventriloquist.
I am.
Yeah.
Telepathically. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Vegas next week.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing you on the Star Trek The Cruise next year.
Yes, in
That's gonna be
February.
so much fun.
Yeah.
We have a mutual friend, Mary Shifu, who had shared stories on how you have come alongside her when she learned how to put on the prosthetics, and she was kind of freaking out at first, but you really nurtured her and encouraged her, and then she shared stories of the hot dog water afterwards when you take the prosthetics off. And
Hot dog water. That's
Yes,
the
hot dog
sweat
water.
that builds up in your suit when they cut it off. It's like,
yeah. So my question is not related to hot dog water, but my question
good. Okay, good.
is you are an extremely flexible and you're able to do a lot of things with your body that seems like the average person can't really do. My question for you is, what is your regimen? What do you do to keep yourself loose and reduce the risk of injury and so forth? What do you do on a daily basis?
Well, wellness coach Steve Atlas tells me I better use it or lose it. So I keep using it, Stretching is everything, especially at my age, now that I'm 62. It's like a matter of keeping everything mobile. Mobility is key, and strength. So I do little weight workouts, and I do a skinny boy workout. It's not like I'm not trying to build mass, because then I'd lose my job. But but being the healthiest, strongest, skinny I can be, any exercises that guide me there, that's what I do. And the stretching is everything. I mean, I got a lot of jobs in my youth by being able to put my leg behind my head. I didn't get there today, sorry. Anyway, but that's my flexible legs got me a lot of early jobs, in commercials especially. They needed some kind of a silly sight gag. Oh, do that thing. So, but I think use it or lose it, I think we can all benefit from that quote. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Rue. I'm from here. Me and my dad are big Discovery fans, have been since the first day it dropped. And I was wondering, we love the episode where Saru is suddenly a human. He's in this computer and he's a human. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how you maintain your character even through that massive physical change that he goes through.
Right, when I saw that in the script, I was like, oh no, I'm terrified. Because I developed Saru with his look, and the hoof boots are everything, right? When you're up on those it adds 5 inches to me. Big platform, so I'm 6'8" as Saru. And so when walking around, when I put those boots on, in the first few minutes I had those boots on at the beginning of season 1, my first costume fitting, it was like, it kind of put my hips forward so I could keep my balance over the ball of the foot because there's no heel there. And I was just kind of like, oh, huh. Well, I like how that looks. Okay, I'm a supermodel Kelpian. Okay. So then the episode comes along, well, you holo program and you're a human. And the first thing I say out of my mouth is, my heels are touching the ground, right? Oh, so that's it, just screwed everything up that I'd prepared for years with him. So yeah, it was, I don't know, I had to just kind of channel, it's still Saru, but it doesn't look like Saru. So what do I do with the walk? So I think I kind of gave him a hybrid between. It was somewhere in there. Can't really quite remember, but yeah. And I was shaved to the skin too. I shaved my head to the skin when we're filming, so Saru sticks to me better all around. And so for that episode, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to be skinhead bald. Why? So they threw a wig on me with a really strong hairline that but I think, did you like the look of it? Did you like it? Yeah, okay, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, okay,
absolutely.
okay.
It was great.
Okay, if it worked, it worked then. So thank you for loving my real face. Yeah, it loves you back. Thanks.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Lauren. I'm from Tacoma, Washington. As someone who has a deep love for fantasy and sci-fi and horror lore, but is also kind of a big scaredy cat, I've had a love-hate relationship with many of your characters. Yeah. So I would like to know what scares you.
Oh, what scares me? The thought of, I don't know, a home invasion. But yeah, no, honestly, when it comes to film, since I've been in so many scary things, I'm like, oh yeah, I know how they did that. So it kind of ruins it for me. But there have been twice in my career that I creeped myself out.
Yes, excellent answer to this question.
Okay. And that would be the Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth. All right. When you're playing it, it's like, oh, let's get through the day. I'm exhausted. I'm like, then you see it on film, you're like, oh my gosh, he's gonna eat children. And the lead gentleman from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think that was like, there's something about smiling while you're tearing someone's heart out that's just like, really, that doesn't fit. Something's wrong there. Yeah. So thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm from here, and you just have so much beautiful talent in your movement and expression, both as a human and as a monster.
Thank you.
And it sounds like you've had a great and long-lasting relationship with lots of monster makers. So I'm wondering, how much do they, you kind of addressed this earlier, it sounds like they show up, here it is, good luck. How much do they work with you, or do you tell them, I want to do that, my fingers are super expressive, so I need more elasticity, what?
Right. I don't have any input on design so much, the look of something, because I've worked with the best in the industry, the best artists in the world have put things on me, so I don't want to spoil that soup. It tastes good already. When I have notes, it's for performance. Is there a way that I can lift my arm higher? Can we retool the armpit so it gives me more movement, or mobility in the hands? Now, Saru for Star Trek Discovery, for instance, the original design had finger extensions out to here. He was going to have long, spindly fingers, and my first thought was, I don't know if I can play him for years with those long fingers with, props and things to tap and phasers and communicators and whatever else, you touch and work with. That would be really, really arduous to get through. So they redesigned those shorter because of my suggestion and my begging them, please don't. So otherwise, I leave it up to the artists who are good at what they do. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Doug. Kaylor from Vancouver, Canada. Just curious about the language for the fawn from Pan's Labyrinth. Did you learn Spanish yourself and then ADR'd it later, or did somebody voice act for you?
It was a combo platter. When I first got the Pan's Labyrinth, it was, and I saw it was in Spanish. I was terrified. I told Guillermo del Toro, I can't do your movie. You need a Spanish actor. No. You can count to 10 for all I care. You're the one who has to play him. So he gave me the option to not have to worry about it, and he'll dub over it, whatever. But I didn't want to give him lips going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then he had to dub over it. It would have looked horrible. So I did buckle down and learn the Spanish of the movie. I had an English script, Spanish script, and I really did the translation of the sentence structure. I knew what I was saying. So it was not just phonetic, it was actual language. So I delivered it on set with a weird accent. They said they didn't know where I was from. The whole crew was like, it doesn't sound American, but we don't know where it is. And that might have worked for them. He was a fantasy character. Maybe it would have worked. But they ended up dubbing over with a Spanish actor who could find the nuances in the language that I couldn't hear. So it was a combo platter of all. But he did follow my performance for sure. Yeah. But thank you for asking. Very sweet of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Catherine from Edmonds, just north of Seattle, and I was just wondering that, after you spend so much time in makeup and on the set, have you ever had a time when a co-star or crewmate does not recognize you out of makeup?
Oh, several times where I've gone to a rap party, when the movie's over and we're having a rap party, and I have to reintroduce myself to everybody. I'm Doug Jones. I played that little thing. Yeah. All the time. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Thank you.
Yeah, but what it's afforded me over a career span has been at a thing like this, I can be actor Doug Jones that day, but at Starbucks later, nobody knows who I am. So I get the best of both. Yeah. It's good. Thank you. Yes.
All right, this is our last question.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ciela. I'm from Seattle. Hush is one of my favorite episodes of Buffy because it scares the crap out of me.
Yes.
And I have a question about playing the gentleman and smiling when you rip somebody's heart out. Did you have to actually smile that whole time?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Did you walk off of set and your face was just like?
Oh, yeah. The original design of those makeups was a smile built on the outside of the face, of the mask. So it was kind of built in to stay there all day. When Joss Whedon saw Camden Toy and me auditioning for it with our real smiles, he was like, oh, that's better. Because he was unsettled by us.
I think it's a compliment, right?
I don't know why. But the makeups, there were 6 of us, I think. The other 4 kept those exterior smiles built into the mask. Camden and I were the 2 that you saw on screen the most. And we were the one, so he retooled had our mask, our prosthetics built around our own mouth, and we had to hold it, all day. It's, it's like wedding photos, I can't feel my face anymore. Yeah. And then we had metal dentures put into our own teeth so that we could have that metallic smile, which is also quite disturbing. Yeah. But thank you for asking, love.
Thank you.
So that's it for me. I thank you so much for having me here. I love you.